basically what people are framing to be you being in the city of Detroit, and it looks like you're walking towards some women, and the women are just kind of like yelling at you saying get away from us, or saying kind of like, oh, get away or move, or what are you doing, and you're kind of like approaching them, and the comments from the people who filmed it are basically saying like, yes, he approached us in a vehicle trying to talk to us, and then we just told him to get away from us, and instead of getting away, he approached us more so. And that the way that they framed it in the TikToks and everything is, it just shows you kind of walking toward them and trying to communicate with them. And even at one point, they say that you smacked the phone out of their hand. Um, is this a narrative that was constructed by the people, or is this somewhat a reality of what happened?
This is a crazy, crazy, crazy predicament to be in. Being a public figure that has tried to be a public figure from behind the scenes. First of all, I want to start by saying that I've seen several different videos across the internet, specifically on TikTok. My initial response to that is, one, I did not assault. I did not harass anyone. My day-to-day life right now is 24/7 campaign. I have 700,000 residents to get to, and I want to make sure that they all know that I'm running for the mayor of this city in order for them to make the most educated decision possible. Part of that is ensuring that they're going to vote, because there's less than 18% of voters that actually cast ballots, and even less than that in the primaries for the city of Detroit. So if I'm not constantly engaging, encouraging, inspiring and motivating people to vote, it's not something that can even hold my time. So that's all I'm doing 24/7.
Yes.
To address the incident, which I definitely want to do and provide some context for, especially my volunteers and supporters, because they've been both mad, angry, but also saddened that someone that they've known all their life, who's dedicated ever since he knew that his grandfather had put women in the pulpit to make sure that equity was at the top of the faith world. I grew up with my mother and my sister and 8 god sisters between 4 godmothers. My day-to-day life growing up was all women. The reason why I say all that is because when I approached these young ladies, who I knew were somewhat intoxicated because everybody had been drinking at a fraternity party that I attended in part of my campaign tour, and I attended a sorority party previous to that at the Charles H. Wright Museum. Upon leaving the event, my 20 years of promotions, entertainment, travel, and hospitality, including concierge, which the weekend company, which everybody knows, and I've been quoted for plenty of times, which is based out of Miami. I went into that hat. And that's one of the lessons that I did learn in this incident, which was I can't wear every hat all the time anymore. If I really want to represent the city of Detroit and the mayor, I cannot engage to bring more people into environments. I have to have other people do that. And if I want to do that, I need to do that with staff and security around.
Right.
Part of going into that incident was that I left my car running because there was actually several people that we were waiting on to walk up, and another lady driving a car following me that day. So there was a witness there. In addition to that, as soon as I got out to campaign and just give them a quick flyer, the young lady asked me to take a video of her. I'm in campaign mode anyway. I say, cool. Start taking a video. Another 2 girls walk up. One of the girls, who I know is intoxicated by the way that she's talking, which happens to be the one who recorded the video, says she doesn't want to talk to you and leave us alone. Well, the girl just asked me to do something, and now you're telling me something different. And most people would have just said, okay, and walked away. But in my years of entertainment and nightlife events, the whole nine, I've been able to deal with groups of ladies before in a very amicably and very conflict resolution preventive style.
Yes.
And so to diffuse the situation, I did stay there. Now, what I didn't know was that she was a TikTok superstar and was able to amplify the situation by buying fake accounts to attack and to slander my name and to boost this narrative of assaulting and harassing her. Well, when she pulled out her phone after telling me to leave them alone, she immediately said that she was going to put me on TikTok. So at that point, I already feel like I'm with the short stick because I don't have any footage. And now she's screaming, assaulting and harassing and running back to her other group of girls. So that's where you see the first video of me still walking with her friend and her running back, laughing and saying what she said.
Right.
I continue to walk to the group who met us pretty much halfway and trying to find some type of understanding so that they didn't blow this up out of proportion and she didn't follow through with what she said. The situation started to go more left because I wanted to record what our discussion was before I left the conversation. Well, as soon as I pulled my phone up to record what the conversation was, they grabbed my phone and knocked it out of my hand. One of the young ladies was nice to give it back, and I appreciate her tremendously. But half of the time when I was trying to get it back, for about 15 to 30 seconds after I got it back, I still felt that I could. I dropped my phone. I didn't drop my phone. Y'all hit my phone out my hand. Y'all got it. Y'all gave it back. Y'all know I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not touching you all. You're not touching me. Everything is cool. Well, the person who's trying to put me on TikTok keeps on pushing her camera in my face.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, I'm just totally shocked. Like, why does this have to go this way? When all I'm trying to do is tell y'all I'm about to be mayor, and y'all might not even vote or be in the city of Detroit to vote because of everybody coming to town for this event. And so, quite honestly, I walked away after I got my phone back. They continued to say those things and record me. I knew it couldn't go in any positive direction. And I just want to apologize to my supporters and my volunteers for, I would say, for going harder than what I should be going. I should have just stopped and gone home and go to sleep rather than keep on campaigning for 22 hours straight. I had been up since 8 o'clock. That's why people say my face looked, pretty indifferent. That's because I was pretty much tired I had been in 2 forums and things of that nature. So hopefully that gives enough context to everyone to help them to understand that my upbringing and my ministering in churches, my support of women and everything that they do, from business to equity to civil rights to gender rights in the workplace, this is the furthest exaggeration of my character that I'm happy to say that it's built something in me that will hopefully give Detroit one of the most fantastic leaders that it's ever witnessed, because I don't plan on getting to any situation twice or not learning from my lesson the first time.
Right.
We've totally locked down on some of those exposures.
So from what you're saying, kind of, and you can see a skew of videos on the internet of people kind of getting baited into, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok videos. Somebody will say, hold my phone and videotape me, and then they'll do something abnormal or something to get the person who's holding the phone in trouble. Is that are you saying that that's what happened? Are you saying that the girl took your phone, the girl told you to take her phone and videotape her, or did you use your own phone to videotape?
No, I'm saying actually that talking to the initial girl was fine. She was letting me pitch my campaign. She just wanted a video of herself.
Whose phone was it for the videotaping of?
Mine.
Yeah. So she told you to videotape her.
Yeah. She was, when I walked up, she was like, "Take a video of me."
Yeah.
I said, I said I'm running for mayor, but all right.
Yes.
And so when that started, and she even texted me on Instagram and said, I want that video.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, but I've had a lot of different people at parties. I take pictures from women and men all the time, groups all the time. I'm in picture mode right now, so that really didn't startle me as the initial thing when I was telling her about running for mayor. It just didn't dawn on me that something like that would have happened. I think that's totally separate from the young lady who ran up and started to create a narrative prior to her even knowing anything that I was, besides what her friend said was that he's running for mayor.
And she's the one who had the footage of you holding the phone, the TikTok girl?
Yes.
So the TikTok girl is filming you hold the phone, videotaping the girl that had asked you to videotape her because you were running for mayor. Or she didn't even know that information. I guess she just wanted you to videotape her for whatever reason. And then the TikTok girl basically framed a narrative that you were filming them and that you were following them.
That I was harassing them and assaulting them.
Yeah.
Now, this girl that I'm filming, she's not running away. They come back, they talk to me. We've having multiple conversations. The issue at the time is that I'm having conversations with 3 to 5 people at one time.
Right on. The way that the girl had framed it, the TikTok girl that had framed it, I believe, don't quote me, but that she said you pulled up in the car and you were flirting with one of the women, and then when they rejected you or said no, that's when you got out of your vehicle and started talking to them. But your story with you holding the phone and filming the girl kind of destroys that claim a little bit, because it's like, why would that be the next move, to film them after they rejected you, which makes no sense, right? So is the story that she's making up basically that you were flirting with them, they rejected you, and that you started following them afterward false, completely false?
First of all, I'm 40 years old. I have no wife. I have no kids. There's a reason why I'm waiting for marriage. It's because I'm looking for the perfect one.
Yeah.
I'm looking for someone to build team with. That takes a very peculiar woman, and I don't go about just that effort without planning or without being fully thorough in that decision.
Yeah.
So for me to engage any woman in a social manner, especially running for mayor of Detroit, is highly unlikely. I'm a minister. I'm a gentleman first. And for me to open every door that I possibly can run to for a woman, for me to help carry anything that a woman might have, but even more so, for me to have been working for the last 2 months to create an effort called onevibe.org that talks about safe nights and safe spaces, because we've had too many shootings and we have too many human trafficking cases that we don't know about. For me to have been working on that this whole time, and for that work to be somewhat stunted, which we're going full force anyway with, for it to even have that type of label on me right now and have to speak to these things, it's saddening, because I feel like I'm one of the ones who constantly advocate for exactly opposite of what they're making me out to be, and I don't have any ill will for them to do it, for them doing it. They're paying for followers. They're engineering a narrative that, because of TikTok and the way that social media goes, it's working. But I'm not into arguing with them on social media. I'm into doing work that's going to help young women, young men engage in nightlife and other activations in the community and downtown, and stay safe at all times.
When people look at, and this is the last thing I want to talk about with this situation, just to clear things up for people, like you mentioned earlier, you had kind of a stunned look on your face. People on the social media forums are saying, look, he looks like zooted out, or he looks out of it. But you're saying it's because you were up all day and for weeks and weeks on end, you're promoting and campaigning. This situation might have just been a shocker while this was happening, I'm assuming, to some degree, where you realize people are trying to coercing you into being a part of their TikTok video. Can you explain kind of the facial expressions that were made, and why does it appear that the woman's phone was hidden out of her hand?
So let's deal with both. First of all, the women's phone was not hit out of her hand. Her friend who grabbed my phone was still very active in the situation. So in the process of me trying to understand what is going on, while trying to actually while as you can see, I turn with my phone in my hand. So I approach with my phone in my hand. I'm not even approaching her. She's actually pushing her camera towards me. Her girl is coming from the left side and bumps into her at the same time, bumps into me. That's why we both go off camera, and she catches her phone. The issue that I have with breaking a phone or assaulting her, I haven't seen one scratch, one injury, seen any broken phone at all that could have been easily posted. You would think that if she said he broke my phone, she wouldn't be able to post like she's posting, nor would she be able to not produce some type of substantive broke phone. At least I would get this. She's not even creating a good story, because at least I would have found a broke phone, took a picture of it, and said, this is the phone that he broke.
Well, most of the comments so it's like